Thank you very much.
非常感谢。
Thank you very much.
非常感谢您。
China and Kenya have always been the leaders. Together, we have put in place a number of flagship connectivity projects, giving a strong boost to economic and social development in the region and bringing benefits to our two peoples. Recently, we just held the third plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee, laying out a strategic plan for comprehensively deepening reform to advance Chinese modernization. Mr. President, under your leadership, Kenya is also pressing ahead in its economic reform and transition. China wishes to take the opportunities presented by the summit to further align our development strategies and take our comprehensive strategic and cooperative partnership to new heights.
Thank you very much for welcoming me to China and for the hospitality extended to me and my delegation. It is an occasion, Your Excellency, to thank you also for convening FOCAC, the all-important forum that brings China and Africa together. It is also an important opportunity for Kenya-China Comprehensive Partnership Agreement, a strategic partnership that is based on a people-to-people engagement framed on programs that are mutually beneficial between our two countries and based on mutual respect and trust. Your Excellency, let me commend your leadership of the South-South cooperation that brings together many developing countries, and to specifically point out the relationship between Kenya and China. As you know, Your Excellency, I was here last year for the BRI summit, and I want to thank you for the conclusion of the program on Kenya's rural roads, the intelligence transport system that has now been concluded, and the progress that has been made on our technical vocational equipment program, Boster Dam, the Nairobi Northern Bypass, and the Muthaiga-Kiambu bypass programs that have already, we've made very good progress.
People, I welcome you all into It's Me, Kevin. Once again, welcome. You are in safe place to be. Today we're going to talk about Kenya. Today we're into Kenya. Kenya is finding itself into hard rock between two rivalry, two superpower, that is US and China. How to balance its relationship with the two superpower. President Ruto, while addressing an investment roundtable, he defended its relationship with Beijing.
Some of our friends are complaining that we are doing too much trade with China. Honestly, I mean, you know, when I sat with President Xi, I had a very candid conversation, and I told him that Kenya is importing 600 billion of products from China. Yet we are only exporting 5%, according to Lee. You know, that trade imbalance is serious.
During the last visit of President Ruto to Beijing, he secured multi-billion deals with China in investment. That's why, in quote, the US want an assessment of trade and investment relationship of Kenya with the People's Republic of China, including with the respect to participation in the Belt and Road Initiative and bilateral debt and commercial ties. That is from the US Senate. Jim Risch, the chair of Foreign Relationship Committee of US. In response from the counterpart from Kenya, that is the chair of Defense Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee, Nelson Koech. In quote, I call upon my counterpart as Senator Jim Risch, the incumbent chair of the US Senate Foreign Relations Committee, to reconsider the proposed amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, for fiscal year 2026 in the depth interest of our two friendly nations. It is worth nothing that the proposed amendment does not call for automatic review of Kenya's status, but for an assessment to be done and tabled in US Congress for final decision. And as things stand, there is no need to preempt the possible outcome of the US legislative process with premature speculation. We shall cross the bridge if we have to when we get to it, even if it comes to assess of Kenya's status as proposed in the amendment. As the country, we will participate in the assessment process, which will be crucial and fruitful in helping both Kenya and US enhance and deepen their diplomatic relation for the better. The end of quote.
We are progressing conversations with India. We haven't quite had a breakthrough with India. We haven't quite, we are very good with where we are with Turkey and Canada, with China. They have agreed to a reciprocal arrangement between Kenya and China. They have agreed to remove all the tariffs on our tea, on our coffee, on our avocado, and all other agricultural exports. That, I think, is a major breakthrough for us. We are now finalizing the bilateral instruments, and Lee can give us some progress report on that, so that in the next couple of months, we should be able to take advantage of that huge market. It's partly why I have a bit of a problem with some of our friends, but it is what I must do for Kenya. You know, it's in the best interest of Kenya that we get into this market. Some of our friends are complaining that we are doing too much trade with China. Honestly, I mean, you know, when I sat with President Xi, I had a very candid conversation, and I told him that Kenya is importing 600 billion of products from China. Yet we are only exporting maybe 300 or 5%, according to Lee. You know, that trade imbalance is serious. And that is the reason why they have opened up their market for our agricultural products. And that is good for Kenya, you know, and that's the right thing to do as somebody who was sent by the private sector to go and negotiate those markets. I thought you gave me instructions to go and negotiate for this one.
We did. We did. And you did a good job at that. So
yeah.
Very great.
So we are progressing conversations with India. We haven't quite had a breakthrough with India. We haven't quite, we are very good with where we are with Turkey and Canada. And so
the US is fully considering to remove Kenya into a NATO alliance due to its continuing building their relationship with China. And that is not US, because those are two rivals. two enemies. It's either me or the other one, not all of us. And Kenya is in a trouble because to balance these two, it will be very hard. And President Ruto is continuing saying that he will not hesitate to continue their relation with China because it's for Kenyan interest. So let us see how it goes, because it's something that is going to trigger so many international relations and international deals. So let us see how it goes, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let's build a happy family together.